Okay. Hmm. So going in for niche into mining. That sounds awesome. So what are you actually thinking of? I'm just gonna bring up something that
Okay, well,
because it's a big industry and trying to um, niche it can be very hard. Like for me, I've been blasting for 20 years and that's where my interests are. I know everyone says to try and take your hands out of it, which I agree, but I saw an opportunity where I could really do something with it. And let me just, what's his name? Um, um, and because I'm been blasting for as long, I know lots of people where I got my niche verified and basically training, safety, scheduling, and just ore recovery, which is basically quote unquote sales for mining, is where all the issues were. So now I'm getting a blasting database library created and some blast information courses done. So that's where we are at. Like I am. And
uh,
yeah, I did niche down to like just lithium, hard rock lithium companies. The issue was is that there's only 30 hard rock mines, lithium mines in the world, four of which are in Western Australia.
huh?
Now, if I was to continue with my plan, my pricing plan as I had, I wouldn't be making money, not the money that I would want. So there we go. Where are we? Okay, that's
Well, the niche is too small.
it was. And when my my expert mate spoke to me about it, he's he said, look, it's pretty it's a very small industry to the point where even if everyone came on board, I'd be lucky to hit the 10K mark for the money, you know.
Mm.
Okay, so niche requirement. Okay, okay, there we go. Let's see. Okay, uh, yes, they're the four ones that we need to pin. I'll pin that one. Actually, oh, no, I'll sort that out later. So
Okay,
that's where I'm at the moment. Now, I done a little bit of looking around for platinum, uranium, and underwater mining.
right.
Underwater mining, um, well, I've heard of underwater blasting. It's primarily for footings and such for bridges, um, for permanent structures.
Hmm.
Um, that was I first heard about that when I first started, like in '02. Never really something that interested me, so I haven't really looked into it until today. But most of the mining is basically send a send an underwater truck downstairs under the water and grab the sand, basically.
Yeah, it's like a vacuum cleaner, basically.
Yeah, 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 basically. Now that's a very wary niche to go for the fact of the matter is there's a lot of hoo-ha about it. Greenpeace are up in arms about it. Oh yeah, but what about the waste in the water? Now, from what I've read, there are no current mining activities. I don't know how old that article was, but that's when it comes to the questions of niche. Is it a narrow niche? The smaller the better. The market segment is growing, or at least not dying. Uh, they have a big problem or big perceived need, and do they have the money to solve your problem to pay for your solution? Mining does. Mining's always got the money to pay for your solution. So number four is always a goer. Uh, big problem, big perceived need. That's what you need to go do your research about. Market segment is growing or at least not dying because of the whole Greenpeace uproar. I would say that's not growing, but there have been studies saying that it is viable. Maybe give it a year or two or wait for Greenpeace to blow over, and that might be a better idea. Now, with platinum, the usual methodology for platinum mining, from what I saw,
Mhm.
was um, basically melting it and then vacuuming it up through the hard rock. I believe that was underground as well. I do primarily open cut, and that's where my section of the industry is. So great big holes in the ground rather than tunnels. And excuse me.
Tired? Yeah, it's late.
It's 10 o'clock here, and I've worked a 12-hour day already. So, and
Oh,
it's oh no, and it's like 40 degrees Celsius out here at the moment. I think that's close to
wow.
105, 110.
No, no, no. I understand Celsius.
Oh,
I
okay.
understand.
Awesome.
I'm Canadian.
I don't know what you guys use out there, so
We use like a weird mix of metric and imperial systems, so it's like, yeah, but we used Celsius.
oh, like every other Commonwealth country.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So yeah, it gets 40 degrees here. It's actually getting rather regular now. Now it's going to get up to the time where it's 50, 55, and we still got to work. But yeah, uh, um, so oh God, I had it all on my phone. My phone's actually creating my light right now. Um, uranium. Uranium is primarily done in Kazakhstan. How to niche that I would not know right now. Like when I've got my website up and running, it'll be taking all commodities, so uranium and platinum. So long, excuse me, so long as it's hard rock, it'll be a part of my website. And all I'll be doing is like blasting details, like how deep the holes are, the distance between the holes, how much bang to put in the hole, how much stopper to put in, how to actually connect each hole up to fire the way that you want it, that sort of thing. Um, how quickly the digger, the excavator, actually digs up the dirt, and in the end, how much money are they actually making improved per shot. That's where I'm at in mind. Because I know blasting intimately on an engineering level, I've been able to do that. And because I've got plenty of mates who are willing to help me, it's actually I've got like two teams now, or three teams actually. I've got my lead team, I've got my course team, and I've got my website team. I was actually talking to Billy today about um, whether it's worth me getting a few projects up on Basecamp just to organise my business. And she says she's always up for that, especially so early in the run. That way we don't have to employ the likes of uh, our auntie to pull us out of the shit. But yeah, okay. So have you done a chat GPT uh, search?
Yes, I've used ChatGPT for a
Okay.
bunch of stuff.
What were some of your questions?
Uh, I wanted to learn more about the problems in the mining industry, just starting out, just generally. Like for someone who's actually in there, and I guess blasting more specifically.
So you want to go the blasting way, or did you want to do like scheduling, time management for the trucks? There's a lot. They've got a lot going. A lot can go wrong in a mine site. There's environmental, there's safety, there's quite a bit that can go on. I'll just have a look.
Well, what are your biggest concerns usually? Like, or the mine's biggest concerns?
They're usually like trying to find a good balance between production and safety, because safety is very um, they're right onto it, but some places like where I am, they can be a little more lax, and it's yeah, it can be very. Oh, there we go. Just grab that. Uh, Copy. I'll just put this in the chat for you. This is a chat GPT that I did earlier. It might help give you some ideas. It's just a video that I created on base when I was doing through this myself, the niche finding, and it in you can see in the video that it'll just go. Oh, it's about a 20-minute video. Have a look at that
I
later.
don't see anything actually.
Hey,
It's, I can't access it.
you can't. Oh, is it because of the? Okay. It's because of in the builder, because this is before the builder um and the niche were actually separated. Let's have a look here. There we go. Actually, sorry, I'm doing multiple things at once. It's intriguing. Um, there's a lot to do with blasting. When I did a chat GPT earlier, I just basically wrote down what is a niche that you can get in mineral mining, and it goes through all the areas that you can do. And oh, you know what? I am going to bring my phone. Sorry, it's going to be a little darker right now. Okay. Oh, that's right. Copied it onto a thing. I just remembered that. Beggar off. Okay. And you say, like, might ping you on. Okay.
Uh, so I mean, huh?
Just getting some folder
So
things
I've
for
heard
you.
that in general, I'm not sure that they have the mining industry has a problem getting mining engineers. Is that true?
Not if you ask me. There's too many of them buggers. But I'm
uh,
gonna save it. Um, recent. Go open. Get a link. Link. Cool. There we go. Link. Cool. There's always, look, being a shop fire that learnt the old ways, as in we basically learnt the how to do things on the shot. Now, can you open that link? Just pinged you in Basecamp.
Yeah, I'll check it out.
I just double check that GPT. Um, oh yeah, I see what you went on.
It's lo-
Sorry, it's locked.
no, it's loading.
Okay,
Okay.
cool. Um, with that, okay, I just go.
Okay, yeah, I'm there.
Cool. So basically, I've just got entrepreneurs with mining
Uh-huh.
and mining industry niches. Oh, that's the one I wanted. Copy. I'll send that in a ping as well. There we go. That's the first one I came up with. Mining industry comprises what niches are in the mining industry, and
Mhm.
that'd be that one there. What is that one? Now, as you can see, it's fairly varied. They've got mine safety equipment, mineral transportation, logistics, transportation solutions for moving mining materials. Exploration is always interesting, but how would you monetize that? That's the thing. And then going back to um, actually, I wonder if you can get this thing. It may not because that may be in. Is that the is that locked for you? That link I just gave you?
No, the link you just gave me in Basecamp works. Like, could you give me another one after that? Yeah, let's see. Yeah, yeah, the last one's locked.
Okay, cool. Well, I'll just copy it and ping it to you. This is from Cliff. He's one of the other coaches. He's usually yachting around. It was one of his points of freedom to go around and basically sail yachts for people for tours and such. He's um he's also, I believe, the record holder for the 90-day business builder. He did it in um, half the time.
Hmm. Wow.
Yeah. So he was right onto it. He's yep. So that narrow niche, smaller the better. They're the four main things you need to ask each niche when you're having a look. Environmental services. Now, B2B is the way to go for mining. Going B2C ain't going to help. Especially, I'm sure the individuals have usually a little bit of more money to spend, but the businesses is where like the big money is. Like
Okay.
for what my first course, Introduction to Blasting, I'm going to be putting out for 75,000 US dollars. That's about a 10 to 12 video course that will be a license for companies to use for a year. So every year, 75,000, they can use that set of videos for whatever they like. Now, if I have 4 or 5 companies that are actually using it,
Oh,
that's a fair bit of money. That's on top of my membership on my website.
wow.
Dropbox.
Yeah, that is the one.
I think I just stuffed that up. think I did. Okay. Oh no, I didn't. Okay. Copy link. Cool. Go. That was the little thing that I did for ChatGPT myself. And you can even use a lot of them as an example since you're doing mining as well. Have a
Mhm.
look through that video and yeah, hopefully it'll give you some ideas on how I worded things in order to niche down where I did. So basically, I'm doing AI blast design. That's going to be my end goal. Is have companies buy my plugin, do the um, that they get the plugin, they get all the updated information, and then they hit generate, and they can generate a blast design. They just check it over and then send it off to get it done. It's I won't say revolutionize mining, but it could very well do so, especially since mining is usually about 10 years behind in the way of technology. So that's a bit of information there for you.
That
Now,
is.
from what you can see, what are you moving towards? Like we can, if you're gonna have a look through this today, I'll go to
Mhm.
sleep, go to work, and we'll catch up again this time tomorrow because it's already booked. So we might as well have a crack. At least we won't
Okay.
have the audio issues this time. And once you get, I think I'll be getting the recording, so I'll Dropbox it and ping it to you. That way,
Okay.
it's will just be raw. I'm not going to edit it. I shouldn't have to be honest. With any luck, the audio is going to be fine. But yeah, it's and then we can go through some of your ideas tomorrow. Just bulk it out, man. Actually, I might
Yeah.
see where my let's see where my niche was. My niche borrowing exercises, some of the niches. Okay, let's have a look at some like. Ah, yeah, there we go. That's the one. So I'll put that onto Dropbox.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, Gary. I
Oh,
appreciate
mate.
it.
Um, I like teaching people. I like training people. It's a part of what I've done a lot of, especially when it comes to. Oh, wait, hang on. We'll go that. Uh, what I will put up that that that. Okay, I'll just give you the. These are all the documents that I had for um when I was doing my deep dives. So I'll put them onto Dropbox. They're making their way. I
Okay.
hope. Oh, there we go. Yep, they're on their way, hopefully. And I'll get them to you in the next when it uploads. And
Right.
I'll get you the link for that. And oh, there we go. Oh, speaking of the devil, it's all done. Look at that. I love it. So we go. Where are we? I need to create folder. Okay. Okay, create. I'll refresh that. Okay, cool. Back. Move them. That, that, that. Okay, I'm just doing this as we're talking. Um, let's see. We go. Okay, it looks like we've got 15 minutes left anyway, because that's the
So,
way I run things.
oh,
Okay, so I'll go more. Let's just move. There we go. To niche. Move. Once they're moved, move. Yes. But once that is all sorted, oh well, whatever. That'll work its way up. Um, yeah, there's a lot to do with mining. It really is, and just have a look around, explore. There's so much from actually, um, we'll say, penciling in the area that you actually want to explore.
right.
We call it flagging, I think, in Australia, in WA. Oh no, we call it pegging. They peg it. They
Uh,
they peg the area that they want. Go to the department, say, hey, we want this pegged area, and if it's available, they say, okay, cool. What are you looking at? They say, okay, we're looking for gold, and then they go explore. They do a whole load of exploration drilling, and then they see the results, and then they say, okay, let's do a feasibility study and get the mine started. If the feasibility study is good, they get the mine started, and then there's I'm just trying to organize logistics for mining just to get like 100, 200, 300 ton trucks up here from Perth or whatever, you know. It's the logistics itself, you know. If you can find a way to monetize that, you'd be killing a pig.
well,
I can't think of anything at the moment, but this is just early days, you know. But that's also a part of your offer. We're just looking at niches right now.
right.
So, so go through, have a look at some. Let's see if that's ready. Oh, okay. So it doesn't like it when I okay, niche. God damn it. Oh wait, hang on. Not like that. No, it's just playing. It's not playing the game. Okay, so I have to do each and every one of them individually. Cool beans.
Wow.
Okay. I'll sort that out in a minute anyway. Once we're off the
Yeah.
call. So
So,
I'll just drop information on you. Have a go through of it. Just stick with actually what I'll do right now is I'll some of the niches I've worked with. Now this is what I had for my niches. Um, that link, that's my document for the niches I came up with. That was before I started deep diving. Um, blast time management, blast technologies, blast communications, deep dives. Copy link. Yeah, I'm just gonna overload you with information and you can do with it as you will.
I will. I'll study it. It says that there's like a lack of skilled personnel here, like shot firers, mobile
Yeah,
mixing unit.
yeah, that's a little bit of the part of what I'm doing in my training package. Now, if you can find a better way to monetize it, go hell for leather. You know, hell, cooperation is also, is it? Joint ventures is also a possibility when it comes to marketing.
Right.
But that, as I said, that's another thing for later. And but yeah, there you go. That would be some of the niches I've worked on, and they're my 3 deep dives that I did with ChatGPT, along with the ChatGPT step by step video. So yeah, that's where we've got at the moment. Once you get the video, you be the one to pop it up onto the forums. Always put things on forum on the base camp. Honestly, it's the coaches will have a look at everything that we've done. The coaches and our colleagues will say, "Hey, this is good. Oh yeah, maybe not so much." You know,
So,
our niche gets vetted by basically by us, and then by our colleagues, and then finally by the coaches.
so this video itself that
Yes,
we're
this meeting that we're on. Yep,
uh,
this meeting that we're on. Uh, Upload it. Is it uploadable? Yeah, I think it's uploadable for just onto the post. Create a new message, niching exercise, niching meeting, because Billy and Jeff both know that we're having this tonight. Because I was going, yeah, I was a little excited. Someone's actually asked me for help. But yeah, so they're aware of the fact, and having it up on the group chat, people can just have a look around, see what's going on. Like, I like blowing shit up. That's what I've done over half of my life, and being able to monetize that in a way that I don't actually have to blow shit up is awesome. That's a young man's game. It really is. Like 40-degree heat, carrying 20-kilo buckets in each hand. It's what I did today, but I've done so much of it. It's but at, it's like actually it's like business building. You do all the hard yards, and then you you see the end result after all the hard yards. Also, like trying to get laid, from what I yeah, like trying to get laid. You put in all the hard work for about 3 seconds of excitement. And that's on a good day.
yeah.
But yeah, so have a look around, have a look at everything I've sent you. Um, yeah, you've got an info dump there, bros.
I'll have to mine through it. Yeah.
Yep. Now, if you need a little bit more time, just reschedule.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's easy enough to do, and I'm at work anywhere between um, about 6:30 to about 10:30. I'll be available. If it's a 10:30 meeting, then that's fine. We'll just go, as I said, for the 45, and then it's too easy because all our meetings are at 12 o'clock out here at night.
Right.
So I always have a sleep beforehand. So getting up for a meeting is no biggie. But as Caleb and actually, what? Oh, there was a video on Kartra. Kartra. There we go. I'll just get that. Oh, actually, it's in my bookmarks. Idiot. There we go. Now, which video was it? No, that's my meeting with Auntie Billy. Let's have a look here. I know I've got a um, there's a niching recording. Nine. Let me just double check this. There we go. How was your How's your couple of days, mate?
How's How's it going? Well, all right, I guess. Except I didn't really get enough sleep, but it's fine otherwise.
I'm hearing you. Never enough sleep at the moment. But that's why we're setting this up, is so we can sleep.
Exactly.
Cool. Now, I was thinking for tonight, we'll just go through the life cycle of a mine and find
Uh-huh.
out which particular area you've got an inkling for. So I'll just go through, let you know what I know, and then you can, if you like the sound of something, we can look into that something a bit later, eh?
All right, sure.
Cool. Now, in one of the pictures I sent you, or was it last night, the night before? Can't remember. All fuses together. I think it might have been last night. Anyway,
You did send me a bunch of pictures, and I looked through them. I made some notes too,
oh, excellent.
yeah.
Go for it.
Oh, okay. So you want to hear my notes? Right. So basically, just okay. So to summarize, like the whole thing, it's like basically hard rock metal mining. It starts with you first have to discover the ore rich area. You use all these different technologies to scan the ground and whatnot, and you drill core samples, and yeah, the geologists all determine this is a valuable piece of land. And
Yep.
once it's confirmed, you prepare it for blasting. You break it up into manageable pieces, right? It's loaded onto trucks and conveyors. It's crushed. It's crushed even more into smaller particles. Then it's smelted, right? Refined. And it's then when the mine ends, mine life cycle ends, you have to remediate the land. Sorry,
No, mate, that's
sorry.
basically the gist of it, eh?
Yeah.
Now, we can go into more details with that. So, yeah, you got the basic gist of it. It's what I'm. Um, now, other than, well, what stood out to you when you're making the notes that you're inclined to have a look at a bit closer?
Oh, you want to take a look at my notes?
I don't know,
Or
from your notes, what were you feeling when you were going through the notes and, oh, that sounds interesting, or not so much.
I did highlight a few things. Let's see. So in the exploration phase, for example, under drilling, then after that is core cuttings and retrieval. Is
Cause
there any sort of money in that, or not really?
um, when it comes to diamond drilling, so basically it's got a circular drill bit,
Uh-huh.
and it basically just takes it just cores down and it makes a really nice solid core of rock. Now, when they do that, it comes out as it's in situation. So you go straight down and it will have like your veins of gold, your hard rock, your sand, and you can see everything. You see everything. I've got some lovely core samples. I still got at home. I just go to the old core yards and pick out the pretty ones. And yeah, so they cut them in half. The geologists analyze it, see, and because everything's noted in meters, or well, in Australia meters, but not meters. And
Really? Are they taken from regular meters?
yeah, yeah, no, they're about this much difference because it's Aussie measuring. Ah, yeah, she'd be right, mate. But no, basically they keep note of the meters that are drilled. So if it's 50 meters down, they know that in 50 meters they come across a very rich vein. We'll just go with gold because that's a good, understandable one. They come across a good, rich vein of gold. They go, oh, okay, at 50 meters, we got that. Then they go maybe 10 meters in each direction, and then they drill again to see whether they can find more of that same vein in at the same depth. So yeah, um, diamond drilling's got a lot of money in it because it's highly expensive. Like it's like think it's close to 50 or $60 a meter. Now, for drilling, that's pretty expensive since the reverse circulation is usually around half that. Now, they still take note of the meters, but it's all like dirt. It just goes smash, 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 smash. You collect the cuttings and then you check it out from there. It gets the job done. That's what they usually do that's the second stage of exploration, and diamond being the third. So they get all the cheap drilling done to find where the veins are, then they do the diamond just to pinpoint things. So it's just
Okay.
refining things down. Now, the first one, like where I am at in the goldfields in West Australia, um, there's a lot of prospectors. They take their metal detectors and just go around fossicking for gold. Um, Exploration, like I'm not 100% sure, but exploration, they always try to minimize the amount that they spend on the off chance that there's no mineralizations. Um, if they call in diamond drilling, it means that they do have mineralizations they want to expose. They're just fine tuning it.
Okay.
Because no one goes straight to diamond. It's just way too expensive. Now, because you're going to be doing maybe 30, 40 Ks of drilling with diamond just to make sure it's all good. Times that by $50, that's a lot of money. Whereas you get the same for about 10, $15, you can get a lot more done. Um, I wouldn't put a pin in that one. We can chat GPT that later on. So keep that one as a highlight. What were your other highlights?
Okay. So let's move on to the, I guess, second stage. Afterwards, the consultation, permitting, and financial analysis. This one might be a bit boring, actually, but okay. There's two things that I'm looking at here. There's first of all, there's like risk assessment. Is there any money in that?
They usually do their own risk assessments per company,
Uh huh.
but getting a general risk assessment for a niche and then selling it as a license, there could be something in that because it's similar to making a set. I think Caleb said he had something that he's got going on in his first company. He actually made a letter set that
Mm-hmm.
he'd license out to people. They'd use it and it would be renewable. So you do, say, risk assessments on, okay, we'll just use blasting as an example. Risk assessments for my drill and blast operations. So
Okay.
if you get a general template, and then you can sell it to companies. Hey, here's a general risk assessment template for you guys to use as a base. You can pay, say, X amount per year to get access to it. Potential, but as I said, risk assessments and safety is they're always looking to improve safety. And being in mining, it's always willing to. We'll just bring up the. Where are we? Where is that I sent you? I hit no, not that one. Just trying to find out where when I sent you that. Niches. Oh, there we go. Um, there we go. Is it a niche market? We can make it niche. The risk
Okay.
assessment can be very fine tuned. Actually, if I remember correctly, in Caleb's book, there's a example where he has he's spoken to one mate that all he does is one 45-minute electrical safety meet lecture. I don't know if you've heard that in his book, but yeah, he gets 5 grand a seat. He does a couple of them a year is pretty well sorted. So that's where it comes niching into safety. Can actually be rather onto it. So is it a narrow niche? We can make it a narrow niche. There's no issue there. The market is growing, at least not dying. It's mining. We're always going to be digging
Yeah.
holes in our planet. Do they have a big problem or perceived need? Perceived need is that there's always requirement for safety in everything that we do. And they have the money? Yeah, that's mining. Mining got for the 90% of the times got money. So yeah, we can put a pin in that one too. We'll keep that one. Now next one. What's the next
Okay,
major
so
one?
before we move on to the next area, just one more from this area. So, how about how could we, niche or do anything with venture capital firms with a focus on natural resources?
Okay, sorry, what was that one?
Venture capital firms with a focus on natural resources, like for the funding and investment part of it.
Uh, okay. Which picture did were you utilizing for that?
I kind of used okay. So for this, I used a bunch of different pictures to like to like
Yeah,
make
nice.
a yeah. But so
Was
your
it one of the
pictures,
ones that I sent you?
yeah, but that was part of it. That was definitely part of
Cool,
it.
cool, cool.
I used them all and then I added some more. Yeah, invest. So it's in discovery. It's in the discovery phase technically. So it's investment.
Ah, investment and
Yeah.
planning. Yep. Okay. Yep. Sorry, just getting there. I was one forward. Investment and planning. Um, uh, when it comes to that sort of thing, it's like getting funding for things like. Uh, so I was just trying to take a bit because most companies would, for example, I know there was a iron ore site I was on, and it was joint ventured by Mitsubishi. That way, Mitsubishi got the steel so they can make the Brum Brums. And you could potentially go as an in-betweener for investors. So that's actually quite an interesting B2C, a B2B. You
Uh-huh.
like, for an example, a small company like the company I'm with, if they need a little bit more capital, which they don't, old mate's friggin' loaded. Like, we're talking billions loaded. I don't know what happened, but he's a very shrewd businessman. Anyway, for example, if he needed a bit more funding, he would say, "Hey," it'd say he's got a potential lithium mine on the plot that I'm on,
Okay.
and so he might go to say a lithium refining company, say, "Hey, I need some funding. You want to help us out?" And we supply to you primarily, like have 60% of your, you know, and
Mm-hmm.
then they add the money, they get the materials, you know, probably very low price sale price. The other 40% they can actually sell to someone else at a higher rate. Now, that actually has some very interesting potential. Yeah, you got to be right on the money for that, legalese and all that. But you can always hire someone to sort that out, and then you just make the connections. So basically, you're going into sales. You're
Okay.
saying that's what that would be. It'd be saying company A is hiring you to look for a company B. Now you get a company B, you might also get a company C, but you're basically making sales calls, which is
Okay.
basically as Caleb says, you're there to get more money for people. So that's actually, well, I'm surprised I even pulled that out of my own head. But yeah, no,
Here,
that's that's a good potential one. Yeah, that's good.
okay,
As I said, niching is we're just getting the basics in so we can find out how we want a niche.
okay.
Okay, what's next on your highlighted board?
So moving on to like the development part of the, specifically construction. Let's see. Okay, so how about this? Tailings, so yeah, underneath tailings and like a tailings storage facility or landfill solution or a pond or something like that. Like, is there any sort of money in that?
Unless you're actually looking for companies to do it, I'm not thinking at the top of the head because they like the first thing I'm thinking of at the bottom of a tailings dam is liners. So to separate basically the caustic the dangerous, like it's very acidic, very there's a lot of acids and such to remove the dirt from the minerals,
Mm-hmm.
and you need some fairly sturdy material to line the pond with. We're like the ponds that we have out here would be about it'd be close to 750 by 750 meters, and that'd be about I don't know 5 meters deep. So
Okay.
that's a lot of that. But then again, on that'd be hard product unless you go do the research and company A says, "Hey, I want to do my tailings. We employ you to go do the research, get the contract up." So you're basically once again going as a in between them and um, the guys who sell the hard product. So
Okay.
once again, with talking it through, it's actually viable. So once again, it'd be a little bit of a sales connection there. But as once again, um, that'll come down to niching again. Now you might want to get some might they might want to hire you to find someone who specializes in tailings dams and poly welding. So you have a list of poly welders or a list of um, dirt movers. Say, hey, this is what we want. But yeah, there's potential. Like the one that we got it out here. Basically, they're making their own. Like all the waste from the pit, they're actually using to build the tailings dams higher, so they can actually fit more in.
Uh,
It was actually rather interesting to see that. Like I saw that a couple of weeks ago on my last swing, and I thought, huh, that's actually pretty clever because they're using what they already have to construct stuff.
and that's
Um,
not standard.
sorry.
And that's not standard using your own stuff.
They do try to, but it's the first time I took notice, to be honest. That's one thing I've noticed since I've started this program is that I'm slowly taking notice of more things.
Right.
And that's just when you're looking for niches, that's usually what happens.
Yeah.
Um, tailings. Once again, you can see, oh yeah, we need some chemicals for the tailings dams. You can have a look at that. Maybe a
Mm-hmm.
water supply, because we've got a very big water supply issue out here. Not enough, saline or non-saline. But yeah, no, that's yeah. Once again, it's yeah, you can be a go-between. You know, they don't
Right.
feel like it's it's like getting a lead generator. On Upwork, you can be the lead generator, getting the leads for them to. There you go. That's the connection. Here we go. We got you a good deal. You can even be a deal broker. That's
Oh.
something to keep in mind when we're going through this as well. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Very informative. What about the for the water shortages? Is that just Australia or is that like everywhere?
That's this particular site. Like, they're not when they were doing the construction of this place, they didn't like we still don't have potable water in our lunchroom. You know,
Well,
well, it's potable, but mm, it's a
not
bit
really.
iffy. It's a bit iffy because they're just bringing. It's either pulled from the ground or it's transported in. And like at the moment, we've got the big 20-liter water bottles that we have in the water coolers, and we actually have to fill out our 5-liter water bottles from that instead of having a filtered tap. Like we've got ice, which trust me, we really need it out here right now. It it was close to 50 degrees today on site, and yeah, so we've got the ice, but we need the filtered water right next to it so we can fill up our big water bottles instead of taking it from the fairly, like, we're talking 14, $15 a bottle of water, and the transport from, like, how far away would Gibson be? Yeah, we're talking like 500 Ks at most, and they transport it in because people need water.
Yeah.
Whereas
Wow.
if they had the infrastructure properly, like 90% of the mine sites I've been to, water's usually 101. That's the first thing you need. But
Right.
not my sandpit. But yeah, no, water is just something that this site has an issue with because the way it was planned and infrastructured went during construction. Like they're still in the construction phase right now. The pit's been expanded already.
Right.
So, yep.
And that's just this site. It's not something that's common for sites in arid areas.
Um, Not really, because they've always got ways to do it. Because if all else fails, they just bring in tankers of fresh water from RO plants. Like
Right.
we've got a desal plant in Kwinana in Perth that just runs trucks out. You know, so if they
Hmm.
need it in the Pilbara, they just long haul it. They fill up their water, have 4 or 5 a week. You know, wave the truckies wave to each other as they go past.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, they've got plenty of, but then again, once again, it's finding being a go-between.
Hmm.
One thing I'm realizing right at this moment in time is that there's a lot of potential to be a broker in mining. You know, from what
Right.
we've been talking about already, like being, say, you're high, so we're going to niche into water distribution for gold mines in the in the gold fields. So you'll have a couple of transport companies that you got in your back pocket that you know of, and you go, and then you'll be going for the water companies would be your um your purse, the people paying you,
Okay.
and then they say, okay, we want to get our water out to mine sites, and then you go talk to the mine sites and say, hey, we've got some nice fresh water here. This is how much we're transporting it for. What do you
Hmm.
reckon? Hell, we'll even get some tanks in for you. You know, some storage
Right.
tanks. So that's one thing. That's one way we could play the game too. There's
Hey,
yeah.
uh,
So keeping that in mind. We'll go to the next one.
Lots of ideas here. Okay. Uh, how about utility systems, specifically power supply and HVAC?
Okay, power. They either use diesel or they use something else. Like when I was on my nickel site in Ravensthorpe, which is down south of the southeast WA,
Okay.
they were using sulfur. They were getting sulfur transported in, like pellets of sulfur to melt. Now, instead of using fuel or diesel, uh, they were using the sulfur steam. The sulfur, yeah, they were using the steam. So the steam it would all be steam
Steampunk.
powered.
Yeah.
Yeah, steampunk. Yeah, man. I tell you what, it's certainly a unique smell when you're melting sulfur. Almost miss it sometimes, but
Rotten eggs?
uh, not so much. But then again, I don't go around sniffing rotten eggs either. But yeah, no, it's certainly a unique smell and very, very sick because they make sulfuric acid to break down the minerals for the nickel, and one of the byproducts is steam. So
Oh, cool.
they use the steam. Um, but you can go on the renewable resource side of things. You know, perhaps a wind farm or solar.
Hmm?
Perhaps finding some large scale companies to sell to mine sites. You know, once again, being a broker. That's what I'm thinking. Because I was thinking what else? Off the top of my head, everything else seems to be like quote unquote hard products, you know,
Right.
or or perhaps just thinking like schematics for um, generators for mine sites. Just note that down, that potential for schematics for more efficient power generation on site. Because if you happen to find a couple of generator mobs that have their schematics, sorry, then perhaps you can sell the like offset, like once again broker the schematics to mining companies. You see where I'm getting at?
I see. Where would I get these schematics from? Just
Well, that
existing.
there. Well, that's where you talk to like more efficient um, power generating companies, like the ones that actually make them.
Uh huh.
So once again, being a broker, you know,
Right.
or you just go, hey, once again, company to company, B2B, you know, you say, okay, you want your generators out there. They're hypothetically solar powered, backup of wind, and you've got these really streamlined, efficient generators. They're half the size, but bring out double the output. You know, they do have a
Right.
they do have a diesel backup, but you know, it's more efficient, more environmental, more safe. You know, all the buzzwords that mining likes to hear. So once again, B2B, very potential. As I said, it all comes down to niching. Wow, there's a lot of B2B you can do in this. I've never. Oh, we've got to. Looks like we're running out of time.
Oh,
So,
how much time do we have left?
it says 10 minutes.
Okay. There's
Well,
lots
no,
of
look,
different.
there's plenty. We look, dude. What we don't do tonight, we can keep going. It's no
All right.
stress. Okay, I'm not
Sure.
stressed. You know, I'm here all week.
I know. It's just that I kind of like have to come up with some more niches. Like I mean, my niches are mostly chiseled, but there's still like some fine features that I have to like chisel.
Yeah.
So
Well, what we're really
like,
doing is just what I'm just letting you know of what I know and how we could
mhm,
exploit it, but that comes back down to offer. So we'll just
right,
pull it back. So we go power generation for mining, chat GPT that using um, Jeff's scriber clip or whatever, using the video that I put through,
yeah,
just getting examples from the base camp and just go hell for leather. You saw my chat GPT listings. I have three of the buggers.
good.
And
Oh yeah,
that was just going down, like selecting one thing and then following it down the rabbit hole. And then there was the video, which is even more different niches just in the same thing.
right,
So if you go, what is a sustainable power generator niche for mining? Or, or you can even go, say, gold mining, niche it down even further.
hmm,
You know, if you can never go too niched, never ever go too niche. But if the money's not there, you can always pull back one step.
right,
Of course, that's up to the coaches as well, like they were for me, because I was looking down the barrel of a full restart. But the coaches agreed that going for aiming at the niche of drill and blast designers was niche enough
uh-huh,
that I didn't have to niche into commodities. So that's why I went from drill and blast designers in lithium to
uh-huh.
drill and blast designers in hard rock minerals. So
Okay,
I still niched to the target audience,
right,
just not the commodity that I was looking at originally.
okay, got it.
So niche down as hard as you can, get everything vetted, and then we'll go from there.
Okay,
Okay,
that sounds good.
what's your
One
next?
more.
Yeah, we're gonna do.
Well,
We've got one or two. Time for one or two.
all right. Like I'm gonna jump to like one of the last ones on the list first that I'm curious about, and then we'll go back to where we were.
Well, if you're curious about it, it means that there's some interest in there.
So like another kind of like in between like middleman position. Is there any money in like recruiting employees? Like you told me there was basically, so I'm just
There,
curious.
there is, but in WA, you can throw a rock and hit someone who's from a recruitment agent.
Ah, right.
It's like there's some really big companies. Yeah, it's all online nowadays, so that's good. Um, Now I just listened to Caleb and Billy's podcast from last year. Actually, it was from the early this year in I think it was February or March. I think it was. Was it Unchained Business podcast? Um, and they had Harrison and Muhammad. Who Muhammad, I believe, is a coach with the 90-day business builder. He's he's my man at the moment. He's the one developing my website. He's gotten all of that organized for me. He's Billy's right hand man. So yeah, he's onto it. Um, when it comes to recruitment, him and Harrison are both onto it. Harrison's done traditional um, employee recruitment, and perhaps getting hold of him would be favourable if you're going to go down that route. Um, could you make your own recruitment company? Probably. Um, could you make a website that can? Oh, yeah, yeah, light bulbs come on. Perhaps once again, business to business, like creating a situation where you haven't a list of all of the recruitment agents that like people come to you, but that's more B2C. We'll follow that. We'll go B2C, so you can say people want a job, they come to you. Hey, we need this job. You talk to all the different recruitment agents, or you go through the recruitment agents and say, hey, this is who I've got. You send them the CV. They say, okay, then cool. They give you a finder's fee. The guy gives you a say $100, $100, quote unquote recruitment fee, and then you connect the two together, and then companies could come to you too. Hey, we need people. So you talk to the recruitment agents, or even go through your own records and say, okay, this is who we've got. They'll go, okay. Well, you could go recruitment agents and companies themselves. That could
Connecting.
that'd
Yeah.
be something you need to draw out, to be honest. Because if you have you in the middle, you have say work job seekers down the bottom. Now you'll have a box of recruitment companies, box of mining companies, and you can connect everyone together. That's actually job networking. Could be something in that. Like you'd get plenty of people through. That's for certain.
Hmm.
Yeah, we're going to have to make this one the last one because if you go say, "Hey, we're looking for expressions of interest for say blast labourers," right?
Right.
You get some green guys come through. You show them a particular safety and information course on blasting, and then you say, "Okay, these guys have got some basic knowledge," so you can say to give them to say drill and blast companies. Okay, this is what we got, and then you go to the recruiters. Hey, we got some brand new guys. Here's their CVs. You guys go look for the work as well, or you just do it yourself. 6 1 half a dozen. Like you can have a three-way where you're in the middle. Recruitment companies come to you for people. Actual companies come to you for people, and then give me a bit of time on that one. I'll draw something up and we'll go from there. So
Okay.
yeah,
Because yeah, you were saying.
I don't. It's all good. We've got
Okay,
plenty of
because
time.
like I remember you said there were a lack of skilled personnel. Like or I read it on one of your sheets for shot fires, mixers, and operators, drillers, right?
Yeah, that's more fine tuned. Like that's more training side rather than recruitment side. And I'm not saying don't have a look into it. It's just I kind of have that sort of covered at the moment with my stuff.
I see.
But but hey, competition's healthy. Or joint venture,
Sure.
you know, that's a potential as well. But neither of us have got the clout for a joint venture right now. But yeah,
Not that. Yeah.
so we've got less than a minute, so we might wrap it up here and we'll look at another meeting in
Oh,
I was going to say a couple of days, but that's ho ho ho, Merry Christmas. Maybe Boxing Day, 26th.
sure. One more question. All right. Is gold mining viable, like a viable niche, or is it like too broad?
This recording. There we go. Did you have a good day yesterday?
I didn't notice that. Anyways, I wasn't procrastinating that hard, Gary. I swear.
Yeah. Oh, look, dude, you're talking to one of the world's best procrastinators, man. Look, yesterday was a busy day for me, so don't doubt it was a busy day for everyone else as well.
Yeah.
Ooh, the holidays.
Christmas.
Yeah,
Huh?
Christmas is a day. Usually when I'm at home, it's either with friends or with my young fella. But at work is as usual.
That's rough.
That's mining. That's mining for you. So yeah. So how did you go, my man?
How did I what?
How did you go?
Oh, how did I go?
Yeah, with
I
your
went
burrowing.
okay. I found a couple of. Do I just start? Yes. How about HVAC companies that serve mining vehicle manufacturers?
Okay, sorry, what was that one again?
It's HVAC, heating, ventilation, that sort of thing. Companies like
Oh, so
yeah.
heating and aircon. That's actually a rather necessary thing out here, and I don't doubt that heating's a big thing for you guys over there. Okay, so heating for. Okay, can you please repeat it? Look, it's been a busy day.
Yeah, I guess I'll just turn off. Okay. So it's heating, air, ventilation, cooling, that sort of thing for cabins for mining vehicles, like
Hmm.
those large, dump trucks or whatever,
Yep,
or
yep.
even just yeah,
Like
like
pickup trucks.
companies that do the HVAC for the vehicle manufacturers that build those vehicles.
Mm. Um, maybe looking at independent um, electrical uh, fitters for that. So instead of going for people who are doing the manufacturers, say for example, you've got a team of maintenance guys on site, and
Hmm.
sometimes they contract out. So see if there's any um, climate control companies that specialize in mining. See if you can, yeah, climate control, um, climate control companies for vehicles in mining. That's actually pretty good. There's a couple other ways you can niche that one as well.
Oh,
Um, See, we always try and go B2B because it is the easy way to make money.
yeah.
You could easily go with what you've got. It all depends on, see, if you go that route, you'd probably have to broaden your geographical focus rather than specializing in Canada.
Hmm.
Um, Only due to the fact of the matter is that there may not be enough companies to supply. I don't know, but
Right.
that's where your research comes involved. But yeah, that's a good one.
Okay.
I know for a fact out here it's certainly a necessary uh, position, especially this time of year where today it was at what 43 to 46 degrees today.
That's Celsius, right?
Yeah, that's
Of
Celsius.
course. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's. I took baths before that were 43 degrees Celsius, and those are pretty warm.
Yeah,
You're doing that all the time.
cool. So have you got all of these written down so we can pass it through the base camp as well? Once you've
Oh,
had the meeting, we'll just post it into base camp and we
okay.
can see what Jeff, Billy, and that I've got to say because I do love these meetings. It's just in the end, the niche betting is up to them.
Right. Okay. So
Okay.
I'll go for the next one then. Okay.
Yep.
So the next one was actually very similar to this one. It's also HVAC, but it's installing the systems in the mine itself.
Okay. So you're talking underground.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Okay. Um, yep. That could that ventilation and HVAC is very important, especially underground. Can be very specialized and could have quite a bit of money in it. Um, are you gonna just focus on underground mines in Canada? Because you may be able to broaden the commodities with that one.
I could broaden it.
Yeah. So if you're gonna keep the geographical uh, focus, you may be able
Mhm.
to broaden the commodity focus, or vice versa. If you want to keep with the gold mines, with only 127 in Canada, you may be able to go to the US as well. If you're looking at that, especially if
Yeah.
it's underground and ventilation and such like. Um, I know for Australian um, drill and blast engineers and mining engineers, ventilation is something that's very focused on. So it's part of the uni degree out here. Ventilation, underground. There's a lot of underground stuff for the engineering out here. That's why I didn't continue it because I like focusing on open cut. But yeah, no, that's good. But so with that one, you can actually put in two options. You can put in like gold mines in the Northern American continent for ventilation, or you
Mhm.
can that yeah, gold mines in the US continent, or underground mines in Canada. So it's keeping the geographical focus smaller, but opening up the commodities. But if you want to, it all depends on how many underground they've got over there. Because I know when I
Right.
did my search, it was 127 active gold mines, but that would be including both open cut and underground. But yeah, that's very good. What have we got for the next one? So you could basically put that one down as two different ones when you write it out on Basecamp.
For the next one, it's drill maintenance services companies.
Yep. You keeping with the drill fitters, or you're going to be narrowing it to, say, country or specific sites?
I'm not sure.
Cool. That's
What
something
do
we
you
can.
recommend?
Well, now there's two different types of drills as well. Well, three different types of drills.
Right, the diamond drill and the other one, the rotary drill, right?
They're considered exploration drilling.
Oh, I see.
Okay, now production drilling, you'd have your exploration drilling, like the diamond, the RAB, rotary air blast, the reverse circulation, the exploration side. Then you've got open cut, which can be both top hammer and down the hole drill hammers. They are open cut, so you've got people who focuses on them. Or you can go underground with multi-boom drills. Actually, I'll just bring up a couple of pictures. Um, let's have a, oh yeah, that one. Let's have a look. Just trying to make one that'll be interesting for you. Okay, let's have a look here. Come on. Yeah, cool. Cool. Uh, D45 drill. And yeah, just some of the, I'll just send a few pictures to you. The um, oh no, that's a D45, oh whatever. Um, and we want a platform rig. Sorry about this. What do we got?
Where did you send them?
I'm just collecting them at the moment.
Okay.
Nope, wrong one. That's what we're after. Image. Okay, that's a good one right there. Cool. Yep. Okay. I'll just flick these to you in. There they are. The 64 platform jumbo. There we go. Ding, 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 ding.
I
Okay.
see those.
Okay. Cool. That first one.
Uh-huh.
That's a standard drill rig that you can see out in open cut. The little yellow one, the Epiroc one. The one with all the wheels on it, that's a exploration rig. That's usually the RC, RAB sort of drill rig.
Mm-hmm.
The next one there, excuse us for a sec. I have alarms for when I do meetings. There's a platform rig. That's for bigger holes in open cut, as you can see the open cut pit that it's in. And the bottom one is what's called a jumbo. And they come in one, two, or three configurations with how many arms it's got for drilling the face. So yes, they're your different drill rigs that you can have your company specialize on. So you get open cut, you'd have the D64 and the platform rig. You'd have underground with the jumbos, or you can do exploration rigs. So there's three different niches there if you want to focus on them, or so on and so forth. So you can use them as different as separate niches as well. Pick it, go for a borrow, and then go from there. But yeah,
Okay,
that's
so let's say that I choose to do it's called a jumbo or an umbo.
it's jumbo. I'll just quick typing.
All right, let's say I choose to do that. Right,
Hmm.
there's only like one type because there's two types for open cut. Or is open cut less common than underground mining? I'm not sure about that part.
Neither am I. It depends where it is. Like in WA, I've only done open cut for 20 years. I've been underground for 2 weeks, and
Mm.
not for me. I didn't like the way that I didn't like the jobs I had to do, to be perfectly honest. But um, I've always enjoyed open cut. But
Oh well,
there,
yeah.
there's multiple arms for the jumbos,
Uh-huh.
and I don't doubt that it would be a very specific skill set if you're going to be working with maintenance companies on jumbos. Well, they're all a specific um, skill set, and basically picking any one of them as a niche could be profitable. So long as you get a decent sized um, company, as you get some mum and pop drill rig company, drill maintenance companies that there's basically just the owner and they're just having their butts hanging out. But that's what research is for.
But is there really such a thing as a mom and pop drill maintenance company?
Well, it's the quote unquote mum and pop ones is basically the owner is the sole maintainer. So they get their own contracts, go out, fix the rigs, go somewhere else, fix the rigs. You know, it could be on the road for weeks at a time. Maybe they get an extra set of hands somewhere, you know, but it's usually sole owner operator um, sort of companies. But they may have something issue that may be needing to be fixed. So don't rule them out because that is a good focus when it comes to maintenance.
And for the open cut platform rig, yeah, drill. How I'm sure you know a lot more about those than you do about the jumbos, right?
Yeah, I've actually operated them myself. Not long, but I have.
I'm thinking it might be better to go in that direction because I could ask you questions about it, maybe if I needed any help.
Um, to be fair, it's six one half a dozen, you know, because you're looking on the maintenance side of things rather than operating side of things, aren't you?
So it doesn't make a difference then. No.
Not really. It's just pick one and go for it. And if the coaches say, hey, branch out to all of them, then hey, you've got a couple of each one can be a separate tentacle, as Arnie Billy says. So you
Okay.
start with one. I'd I'd start with the jumbos first because they're more likely to be more profitable because underground jumbo maintainers are probably on a higher bracket than most, especially if they're companies. But as I said, that's for what research is for. Okay, what do we got next?
Okay, so how about consultancy firms, like environmental consultancy firms, and I could specialize in a type of like remediation, like maybe after contamination cleanup. Yeah, firms that specialize in contamination cleanup.
Would that be bulk or a specific contaminant? Because that could work either way. Because most small
Okay.
spills are usually cleaned up by those who make them. You know,
Uh,
so we're talking 20 liters, 30 liters, up to about 100 liters. But if it's bulk, you can, yeah, you can specialize in bulk cleanup. They've got them. Or you can specialize in a specific spill, say cyanide, like in gold. And yeah, that's two different ways you can go. If you do the bulk side of things, cool. But if you niche it down even further to, say, a certain chemical, which aren't going to be as bulky in the way of cleanup, consultancy on that, that's,
okay.
but then again, quote unquote consultancy is also a service while we're still looking at the niche.
Right.
So
So
the
we're
service,
looking at the consultancy. We're looking at firms that do consultancy for mining companies.
okay, well that's even better. Yep.
Right. So,
So consultancy for firms for environmental spillages.
right.
Cool. Yep. And being more specific, it should be niche enough and with the money. So yeah, pretty good.
Okay, then. The next one is aftermarket parts suppliers for mining vehicles, drilling equipment. That's maybe just drilling equipment. Maybe
If you're
that
going
kind
to
of
go,
goes
yeah, that would go similarly hand in hand with the drill rig. So that could be a different tentacle. Um,
right.
especially if you're going to go with the maintenance side of things. Whereas if it's going to be general mining equipment, they usually have their own suppliers. Like most companies have their own suppliers that they focus on.
Right.
Um, a good example, like Coventry's Repco in Australia for cars. There are a couple of companies that sell aftermarket stuff. As an example.
I'll
But
probably
yeah,
have to expand my geography for this, wouldn't I? Because there's not a whole lot of them.
yes, geography would have to be a non-limiting factor because you might need to get parts from Japan or America or Africa or Europe or I don't know. Um, I know that Epiroc are Swedish, but that wouldn't be aftermarket. That would, and most things, especially drill rigs, they usually go for the genuine parts. For the fact of the matter is that one, they last longer, and two, they don't void any warranty. But for older rigs, aftermarkets are you always the way to go. If it'll be a little cheaper, maybe a little bit more dodgy, but they can buy a couple of them and just, oh yeah, we'll just replace it. So yeah, that's a good one.
Okay. How about okay, mining road construction companies or maintenance companies? Is there such a
Yeah.
thing in the first place?
Um, my experience is that the production crew, the main diggers and operators, they usually do
Mm-hmm.
all that. So because it's all dirt, there's no bitumen. They water cart it, they grade it, they make it nice and smick. They do it all over site, so it's usually already done by the dirt movers. So probably not on that one.
Okay. No for that one. Okay. I remember seeing these black rubbery like shapes in this pool, like in a picture or in YouTube about mining, right? There were, I think it was during like chemical treatment or something. I'm not really sure. Like these floating things, right? Doesn't ring a bell.
Not off the top of my head. I've only
Maybe I can
been
find. Keep going.
processing for me is a fairly limiting experience. I was only with the main processing side for a couple of months, and all I was usually doing was taking samples. Other than that, I was maintaining the main crusher side of things and basically crusher operator, which really wasn't too mentally stimulating.
Right. Um, Trying to find a picture. Well, if I can't find it, I guess I'll just move on then.
Yeah, just move on. If you happen to find it, we can have a look at it later. But what were you thinking about that in the way of niche wires?
I mean,
Supplying, supplying the floaty things?
or doing business with the companies that supply the floaty things.
Mm. The fact that we're quoting them as floaty things and it's nothing very immediate to my knowledge is probably a good niche. But yeah, that's something to research. So don't totally get rid of it,
Rubber. Uh huh.
but yeah, it's
I
going to
think
take a
it's
lot more
called
research.
rubber float. I think it's called Rubber Float. Yeah,
Okay.
manufacturers.
Okay. So what would they be used for? Like in
I think they're used for temperature control, probably.
yeah. Well, temperature control floats. That is specific, very specific. So yeah, we could. I'd consider that a niche. But as I said, write them down. We'll put it into base camp and see what the coaches say. But yeah, that's going pretty good.
Yeah, I mean that could be a mining thing, or it could be like a general thing because I do remember them being used in water treatment plants. I think.
Mm. Well, the thing is because the product and the companies that supply them are very specific for multiple reasons. I think having it in a specific industry might be a bit too niched. But narrow it down as far as you can, and if you need to pull back, that'll be at the agreement of the coaches. So you can go temperature float gauges for mineral processing in mines, and then if you need to, we can niche down to say gold or copper or whatever. And then if it's too small of a number, it can always jump up a level.
Okay. Yeah, we're going for this list pretty quickly. Let's see. I could. This might be a bit too general, but like a chemical supply chain management, like a firm, or just the service itself.
Um,
Probably just the firm.
that is fairly general
Ah,
because once again, like we use hypothetically, you've got chemicals for blasting, you've got chemicals for processing, and the processing has multiple sessions. Remember, I had sulfur at one of my sites, and they were using it for multiple uses. Um,
right.
either pick a chemical or pick a target audience. So if you're going to go chemical supply for gold mine or processing, I'm pretty sure that would be at a level that you can utilize for niching. Yeah, understand where I'm getting at?
Yeah. Pick or pick a target audience. Okay, so chemical supplier for a chemical or for a type of or for a gold mine. Okay.
Yeah, or yeah, either an audience or a product.
What about where was I lost my geological? Okay, so geological mapping and surface sampling services for gold exploration. Like companies that do that sort of.
Would that be on the exploration side of things or the
Yes,
production side of things? Exploration,
expert.
really good. Um, because the information from exploration actually translates to the designers on site once they start mining. Like the mining companies themselves usually supply the engineers for that,
Uh-huh.
but going for exploration, that'd be pretty good. And then you can niche it down to location, to commodity, and go from there. So you can niche it to a commodity like gold, or you can niche it to a um, geological factor, or go both because you can always pull it back. And we've got 10 minutes left as well.
Oh, do both. Okay, so we still have a couple left. Let's see. This one. This one's also kind of pretty specific for drill bit. So just tell me quickly if this is any good. ISL drill bit design and manufacturing companies.
There's a few of them around. Um, there may be some Canadian specific. I know that there's quite a few companies that do supply them, and once again, it comes down to, do you want to supply open cut? Do you want to supply exploration, or do you want to supply underground? So that's your three different tentacles you can utilize for that. So when you put in the niche onto base camp, you can say
Mhm.
um, drill consumable companies, and then you can niche to open cut, exploration, and underground.
Consumable companies.
Yeah, I'll just write it down. Bugger off. Um, open cut. Burrow rigs. Sorry, just typing everything out.
No,
Exploration.
that's fine.
See. Um, and uh, cool. As you can see, there's a few open cuts there because they've got where the percussion is above the ground, percussion that's
Mhm.
down below the ground. That big platform rig are usually just rotary, so they just spin around to drill.
All right.
Exploration diamond drill rigs, exploration reverse circulation (RC). You can also put rotary air blast (RAB) on that one as well, and underground jumbo rigs. All have got different gear that can be supplied. Some companies supply a large range. Some companies specify, but drill consumables, I would think, would be pretty niche because you're not going to get them outside of mining. You don't need them outside of mining. Oh, that's a fib. You know, you got boreholes and such, but that'll be under exploration.
All right. Okay. What about the specialized dewatering solutions for tailings management? Yes or no? Anything like that, or is that just like something?
That could be very specific. Um, Once again, you can come down to commodity and or specific tailing solutions. So like the chemicals. So it's either the chemicals or the commodity again. So
Okay.
when you write that down, you can have both options there, or you can you can have an either or option. You know, you can have them both. You can have one, or you can have the other. Either way, that all three can be a tentacle.
Okay. We're still have a couple left if we have time.
I got
Um.
5 minutes.
Okay. Smelting equipment providers. Not really.
I would have no idea. I'd be,
Uh,
and the fact that I don't doubt, well, equipment needs to be there, doesn't it? So I haven't been involved in the pouring side of things, but
mhm.
yeah, yeah. Once again, you can go commodity, you can go geograph. Um, so yeah, you can geographically specify, or you can go commodity specification. Now, if you're going to go gold, you'll probably have a little bit more companies to work with you go geography, well, once again, it comes back down to how far away you're gonna go.
Uh, Another one which I didn't write here, but I just remembered it. It's
Hmm.
in some mines, I'm pretty sure this is very common. They have these like conveyor belts that carry,
Yep.
the blown up rocks and they crush them whenever. Like yeah, like like the manufacturers or repair for that sort of thing.
Um,
Or is that just mining?
repair
They're done.
repairs, conveyor repairs. It's fair. Like there, there's only one company that I have known when I was working down south, like down south, southeast of WA, that specified in it. But if you're going to be focusing on companies that do that, that's a good one,
Okay.
especially repairs. Otherwise, it's just once again it comes down to material suppliers. Like you could focus on geography. Um, yeah, probably commodity won't really matter. It's just more the geography for that one. You've written that one down, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. So we got 3 minutes left. We'll make it one more and then we'll close her off.
All right. What am I gonna choose? Okay, so I'm just gonna list a bunch really quickly, and you tell me where you want to stop.
Mhm.
Sag mill manufacturers, maintenance services, gold mill equipment suppliers, grind thickener solutions, cyanide solution suppliers. Um,
That comes back to your chemical from a
yeah,
couple
I
of years
guess.
ago.
Yeah, so that's kind of redundant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not really because it's still niching into a specific side. That'll be a sub niche for one of your previous ones. Just see
Okay.
where others can fit. The ball mill one is good. That can be involved with the floaty ball one. You know, different equipment that can be utilized. Okay, keep going.
Grind thickener solutions.
That'd be also down to the chemical one.
I think that's about all. Maybe I missed one, but I think that's about all.
Ah, awesome. Now, what about, did you have a look at the pest control and the IVF stuff?
Oh, okay, yeah. So pest control, it's like owners of like that, pest control companies that deal with owners of apartment buildings. That would be an idea.
Mm-hmm. But you're going to niche to a specific pest?
Yeah, bed bugs. I meant. Yeah, I meant to
Yep,
say
yep,
bed
cool.
bugs. Yeah.
Well, yep, that's good. You can, that's definitely one that everyone's agreed that it can be focused on. Um, Now, IVF, there's a lot involved with IVF.
Like
Know
like egg or semen cooling and storage.
storage. I'm pretty sure there's quite a few companies that do that. Usually involved with the IVF companies themselves. Like um, for the one that I went through to get my son
Mm-hmm.
is the company's called Pivot. Um,
Okay.
I think they have their own storage facilities or know companies that do. But that'll probably have to be for later because we're probably going to close off any second now.
Ah.
So, ha if you want, have another yarn. We can meet up in a couple of days, refine them, but get everything onto base camp and see what everyone else reckons as well.
In a couple of days, you mean Saturday or when?
Ah,
Exactly.
we'll see.